It's hard to even drink tea or coffee now without having the homemade around at all times.
Right.
Oh yeah, and I use that nut milk as a base for these smoothies all the time. And whether you have a recipe or not, just think a little almond milk, some strawberries,
Half a banana.
a piece of banana, you're golden.
And some of these
chia
superfoods.
seeds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, great. So let's talk about green smoothies. It's so unusual. You have apple, cuke, parsley, mint smoothie. So tell us about that. I mean, I've never had a green smoothie quite like that.
Well, we absolutely love this smoothie. I remember testing different combinations in my sister's kitchen recently, and my mom was out from North Carolina, and we were whipping up all these green smoothies, and we were sending them back to her to taste them, and she was kind of barking at us, going, "Oh," thinking that we've just stepped off the deep end, the California deep end. And this was one that we concocted when she was in town. And when she got back to North Carolina, she kept calling us saying, "I'm craving that apple, cuke, mint, parsley smoothie that I was balking about when you were testing last week." Anyway, it's become one of our very favorite smoothies. And I think the bottom line here is, I think most people think of smoothies and they think, okay, blended fruit drink. And we're encouraging people to sort of step out of the mold a little bit and think about adding a handful of mint or adding a handful of parsley. It's like having a salad for breakfast. It's really so wonderful to get all that big boost of chlorophyll in your body, and it's invigorating. It's fantastic for you, and we like the idea of drinking smoothies that don't have so many carbohydrates, so much sugar in them. So we're trying to inch into adding a little more green and some vegetables in there, and we've got a wide variety of different green smoothies. It's just one chapter, so
you
we're
have
not
to,
open
you have
to green
to be
smoothies. That's
open-minded.
fine, but it's just one chapter in the book, and we're just asking people to open their minds. And one way to do that is to start with a handful of fresh mint. Say, it's so refreshing and delightful. I mean, people love mojitos, right?
Yeah,
So
and
like
you have a book on weddings that
we have a mint vinaigrette.
the mint vinaigrette that I love.
And the Bride and Groom First and Forever cookbook.
There
Yes,
you go.
and it's really my favorite recipe in that book. But we just love these green smoothies, and we want to encourage people to just take a handful of mint or a handful of parsley. You can use romaine. You can throw cucumbers in smoothies. You can throw watercress in smoothies. So we're just saying bust out of the mold. And this one seems to be a great bridge to enter into the realm of
It's a really natural and energizing
sweet.
combination.
It has apple juice and cucumbers and green apple and the parsley and the mint. So it really tastes like,
and I think we added a handful of hemp seeds in there too.
That's right. And if you're scared or you don't feel comfortable with hemp, just take it one step at a time. We understand, like my mom, who is sort of crabby
skeptical of all
and
this.
skeptical of all this. Maybe you just put a handful of mint and don't do the parsley and get used to drinking something green.
Once you start incorporating a lot of greens in your diet, especially in the morning, you start craving them more in your diet. So you can start off with just a handful, and now I pack my Vitamix every morning with different greens.
So would you put kale and spinach
Sure,
in?
we have a couple of my favorite combinations. One is a kale, apple, and carrot smoothie. It's made with carrot juice diluted with water, so not to have too much sugar, and handfuls of kale, a little apple, and then we actually put some sunflower seeds and a little lemon juice and even a little flax oil. So because by adding the oil, it gives a little more sustainability. You feel full longer, and you're getting some of the goodness that oil has to. Flax oil is full of omegas and other essential ingredients. So it's
I like
a great way to get it in. And other combinations, we have a pineapple, arugula, and macadamia nut. The arugula is so complementary with the pineapple, and the macadamians just work. It's a good way to get protein in, and the Vitamix really blends it to a point where you don't even really know the nuts are there, but you're getting that added protein.
Right. It sounds like a wonderful salad.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking that it's actually going into your system more quickly than if you're just chewing a salad, for example. When you're drinking it, is that accurate, that it's actually being absorbed more, do you think?
We think the blender is doing the chewing for you. Really.
Yeah, so I think it's maximum absorbability and bioavailability. It just, I think the nutrients are more quickly absorbed.
Do you add probiotics to your drinks?
You know what? Speaking of, that's one of my favorite smoothies. We have a kombucha baby. Kombucha, I don't know if you're familiar with kombucha, but it's a probiotic elixir. It's been around for hundreds of years. It's a tad vinegary, I think, initially. I think when I first started drinking it, and then I started brewing my own. Have you ever brewed your own?
No, it looked too complicated and
it's
sugary.
not,
I mean,
not,
it's the sugar kind of scared me a
but
bit.
Because of they call it a mushroom. It's really a culture that feeds on the black tea and the sugar, leaving trace amounts of sugar in the final product, in the final kombucha beverage.
Right.
So anyway, but you were talking about probiotics, and we've kombucha being one of them. We have a kombucha baby smoothie, which is a kombucha and strawberries and blueberries. But other probiotics are, Mary had mentioned kefir, Greek yogurt.
Right. And you can look where the yogurt is.
Good Belly is another
and
one.
there's all these brands, they'll say probiotic. I mean, that is the buzzword for the yogurt department.
Right.
And you'll see that scattered about, and you can find
all about strong digestive health.
Yeah, it's really important. This is so great. So if you're just joining us, I'm Beth Greer, and I'm speaking with cookbook authors Mary Barber and her sister, her identical twin sister, Sara Whiteford, on Your Supernatural Life here on Green 960. Well, let's talk a little bit about the smoothies for grown-ups only. And you have a section on alkalinity versus acidity, and I think a lot of people are not really aware about, having an alkaline diet and an alkaline body helps protect us from disease and illness. So you'd like to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think we learned about the 80-20 diet years ago, and the whole idea is to have more alkalinity than acidity. And just think, alkalinity is about fruits and vegetables, and acidity is about like meat, coffee,
sugar, refined sugar,
alcohol. So it makes sense on a broad general level to eat a lot more fruits and vegetables than you do meat and coffee and booze and rice and potatoes.
So it's believed that disease grows in acidic environments and it doesn't grow in alkaline environments. So when we wrote this chapter for grown-ups only, we thought it would make a lot of sense to sort of neutralize the alcohol by adding fruits and vegetables, so to speak, or fruits. And I mean, we usually, when I don't add vegetables to these, I think of adding mint, fresh herbs mostly.
But think pineapple mojito slush. And we use white rum and a bunch of mint leaves and lime juice and agave nectar and pineapple. It's just delicious. I mean, it's kind of like the updated daiquiri, really. We have lots of really exciting ones.
And then if people want to add alcohol, they can too, right?
Yeah. Well, and we offer the recipe. In the recipe, we put the amount of alcohol that tastes good in the smoothie, and it's certainly optional. But one of my favorites is called Honeydew Gimlet, and it's made with honeydew melon and lime juice and basil leaves, a little sea salt and green grapes.
Unexpected, but so delicious. And very complimentary.
So you can add gin to that. It's certainly optional, but it's really, really delicious.
So how long did it take you to put all this together? You have a test kitchen, and what was that like?
Well, we did, let's see, there are 60 recipes in this book, and
we probably did about 85 or 90, and 60 made the cut.
Yeah.
But we are like mad scientists in the kitchen.
Right.
We have all this wide variety of superfoods and fruits and vegetables sitting out on the counter, and we just go to town. And it's just
and it was a little tricky, Beth, because the other two books, I'd be like, oh, scratching my head. Didn't we do that combination 10 years ago?
That definitely happened.
Yeah.
And then did you have people taste it as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
We do the first round of testing, and then we
bring the audience
or we
over.
send them to friends of ours, and definitely get the word from everybody else, because it's subjective.
Yes,
and you never really know. But I like to think we have pretty good instincts.
Yeah, you do. So tell everybody where they could get a hold of the book and about your website and what they would see when they're on your website.
So our website is www.maryandsara.com. We have a weekly blog where this month we're blogging a lot about the recipes in this book. You can order this book, Super-Charged Smoothies, on our website. There are links to Chronicle Books, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. All the major bookstores have the book now.
Great. And I'm just trying to think if there's anything else, any last minute things you want, any tips you want to
So Beth, supercharge your life is what I have to say.
Right.
And
health as well.
Yeah, and learn about all these amazing superfoods. I think they really contribute to vitality and energy and overall wellness.
And once you discover them, you will incorporate them into your diet forevermore. They're fantastic. And it's all about feeling healthy and feeling your best.
Right, and you guys look fantastic too. Your eyes are twinkling and your skin is clear. And
Back at you, Beth.
Take
great.
care.
Thanks so much for being here today and sharing your information.
Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, Beth.
Okay.